Assalamu alaikum and hello to dear viewers and listeners. You are here with Isratulali, the researcher. Guys, today I am going to discuss a very important and significant literary theory which is postmodernism. So in this video module I am going to discuss what is postmodernism, when did it came, what are the rationale or what were the main factors behind the emergence of this literary theory. Then I will discuss the chief characteristics of this literary theory. Afterward, I'll discuss some major theorists of this literary theory and, and some notable concepts and terms and that has been repeatedly used in the postmodern criticism. And towards the end of this video, I'll be discussing some of postmodernist work which uh, which embodies postmodern elements and them. So, starting this video module with very first point that what is postmodernism. Basically, postmodernism is a cultural, literary and artistic movement that has emerged in the mid-20th century in a reaction against modernism. So this movement came as a reaction. It critiqued the modernist ideas and beliefs. Postmodernism came as an opposition against the modernist ideas and beliefs, as well as this theory is the continuation of the modernism because this theory followed the modern period. So this theory came around the year 1960s and 1980s. So in other terms, it is also called ultra modern modernism or high modernism, or and some scholars also name this theory as modern modernism. So postmodern literary theory alternates or it came as a substitute of the modernism. Basically, modernism literary theory did not able to answer some question. Due to due to this reason, the postmodern criticism emerges. In modernist criticism, this thing is understood that a book is a good book, but they did not uh, they did not raise the question of why and how. But when postmodernists came, they came with this idea and belief that which book is a good book and how this book is a good book and why this book is not bad book. So they came with these rationalistic questions: why, how, what was the reason behind the goodness of book, and what were the measures due to which you are saying that this book is a good book. So postmodernism embodies post-structuralism and deconstruction in it. Basically, you can say that the deconstruction, post-structuralism is also part of postmodern movement in a broader way. So now I'm going to discuss that why this postmodernism literary theory emerges, or what was the motivating factor behind the emergence of postmodernism. So first of all, it is the critique of the modernism because it emerged as a reaction against the modernism. When the modernism failed, then postmodernism came. Then secondly, it is the skepticism skepticism of authority. It challenged the sources of authority that has been established in modern society. Those sources were religion, science, government, and these postmodernists argued that all knowledge is subjective and culturally and socially constructed, means that the truth of one culture is different from another culture. So, due to these reasons, postmodernism came because postmodernists came with this motive that all knowledge is subjective in nature. It varies from person to person. Then we can say that another reason behind the emergence of postmodernism is that it is the embarrassment of uh, fragmentation and paradox. It rejected the idea of single unified truth. So, in postmodern criticism, they said that there is no single truth, because the truth of one person is different from the truth of second person, every second person. So, these factors led to the emergence of postmodernism. So, we can count many other factors due to which this postmodernism came. We can enumerate that what was true is also a reason where all the structure of human words are shackled, where A human has seen all the atrocities, atomic bombing of on Nagasaki, Japan, where human has been killed and massacred in this World War II on a high level. And the scientific revolution was also means that after the mark in that period. Then Cold War between USA and Russia is also a factor which motivated and which helped in the emergence of postmodernism. Then we can say that the revolution of Darwin's, when this theory of Darwinian theory came, then the beliefs of religion on human being has been changed. So these factors led to the emergence of postmodernism. Now we are going to discuss what are some major features and characteristics of this postmodern literary criticism. So starting with that, postmodernists are not ideological. They had ideas and ideologies. They are anti-ideological. To them, ideas and ideologically are all politically motivated factors. So they are anti-ideologists. They can say that when you keep an ideology, then you should have a political motivation. Due to that motivation, you came up with an ideology. So they are anti-ideologists. Secondly, postmodernist thinks that nothing is original. To them, originality is a myth. Nothing is more original. There is a copy of copy, simulacra and simulation, as this term has been coined by a major postmodern theorist, Jean Baudrillard. So to them, originality is a myth, and they also says that the individualism is better than the universalism or collectivism. They promote individualism. To them, universalism is also a myth. Then postmodernist scholar or postmodernist theorist challenges deeply established conventional centers. What are our centers? Centers are our cultural centers, religious centers, and so postmodernism is a satire on center. Then we can say that postmodernism challenged the tradition of our literary tradition of drama, fiction, and poetry. It brought many innovation in the structure of drama, novel, and poetry in terms of structure and form, as we can guess in the postmodernist novel, in the novels of Pension. We can say that they played with the form of the novel, means that they brought the complex plot and the narrative pattern of the novel of the postmodernist novels and poetry is also complex. They have no uniqueness, no rhyme and rhythm. They broke the rhyme and rhythm. So a lot of new innovation came. As far as drama is concerned, they neglected the the scheme of act scenes, and they developed their own scheme of acts and scenes division. Then we can say that postmodernism is against meta narrative. So what are meta narratives? So meta narratives are our proverbs and cultural sayings, or anything that cannot be challenged is called meta narrative. So another main characteristics of postmodernism is that postmodernism is against absolutism. They said that nothing is absolute. To them, the truth of one culture is different from another culture. For example, concept of death is different in Hinduism, while concept of death is different in Muslims and other religions. And Hindus religions, the dead bodies are burnt, while Muslims bury their dead bodies. So postmodernism is against hierarchies. They are against class division. Here postmodernism negates Marxism, which is totally based on the class division upper and lower. Here it also opposes Hinduism, which is based also on the class division. And Hinduism, we have caste system and classes. While at this point, postmodernism resembles Islam, because in Islam there is a pettiness which determines one place in Islamic society. So Islam is also a religion which is against hierarchies. So postmodernism is against all kind of binaries. As I said that it is against hierarchies. So when the term hierarchies came, then thing binaries came. When we say that it is against all kind of binaries, so in this point we are saying that postmodernism negates or it demolishes the boundaries of structuralism. So it is also an anti-structuralist. As postmodernism negates structuralism, then another important and chief characteristics of postmodernism is that postmodernism uh, rejects the unilateral approach towards life. Rather, uh, it talks about the multilateral approach towards life. To them, the multilateralism is better than unilateralism. Another hallmark feature of postmodernism is in-betweenness. In-betweenness means that hybridity. Postmodernist thinks that a hybrid creature, a hybrid person is ideal to live in this postmodern society. So at this point, postmodernism goes against post-colonial literary criticism, wherein post-colonialism, a great deal of criticism has been done on the hybrid creatures. So at this point, it somehow opposes post-colonialism. Then we see another important characteristics of postmodernism is that it blurred the line between communism and capitalism. The examples are obvious before us. We can see actually the economic system of France and Norway. We can neither totally see communism or neither capitalism. Another characteristic of postmodernism is that in postmodernist society, place does not matter, but the thing which matters is space. So in postmodernist society, space is more important. For example, a worker from India, Pakistan goes to USA or UK, he can get easily space, but for to get the space in that society, he or she has to settle there for to say 15 years or 25 years, and so to get their nationalities or their citizenship, he or she has to struggle a lot. They have to shape their minds to that society. So all the struggle in postmodern society is of space, not of place. Following this point, we have got another major point of postmodernism is that postmodernism is against all kind of coercion. Postmodernists are against the use of power, use of force, use of violence. Rather, they promote seduction. They use seductive approaches in order to bring harmony. Means that they are non-violent. Means that they say that you could do harm with soft hand, not with hard hand. And a safe word, we can say this. So postmodernism is anti-fatalistic movement. They are not fatalist. To them, fate is a myth. So it is an anti-essentialist movement. Also, it is along with anti-fatalistic movement, it is anti-essentialism. So there is a no scope of essentialism and postmodern literary criticism or postmodern society. So postmodernism favors the modes of representation rather than the modes of reproduction. To them, modes of representation are important. Their concern is that how they should be represented rather than how the things are get produced or get done with them. So postmodernism is highly subjective theory and nature. Then we can say that the postmodernist scholars says that that it are the conditions and circumstances that compels writer to write. Their ideas and beliefs is that you can say that the Mento has written the Toba text saying not due to the incident of petition we can say that this is that मंटू ने टोबस टेक सिंह नहीं लिखा, बल्कि वाकई तकसीम ने मंटू से टोबस टेक सिंह लिखवाया. So postmodernists are of the view that the writers are compelled to write due to the actions or due to the incidents that happened in their reign or their time period. So now we are going to discuss or to name some few postmodernist theorists, important theorists that had contributed in the formulation and the understanding of this postmodern literary criticism. So starting with Jean Francisco Leopold, who was a major postmodern critic. Then we have got Ronald Barthes, Michel Foucault, Jacques Derrida, and the list we have got Jean Baudrillard, Julia Kristeva, Donna Haraway, Robert Venturi, Frederick Jameson, Barthes, Judith Butler. Then we have got Claudius Lévi-Strauss, Deleuze, Douglas Kilmer. Then we have got Linda Hutchinson, Martin Heidegger, Slavoj Žižek follows the list of postmodern critics. Postmodern scholars that had contributed in the formulation of postmodern literary criticism. Afterward, I'm going to name some of the major important key concepts that has been used in the postmodern discourse, which are metafiction, historiograph metafiction, intertextuality, irony, deconstruction of ideological structure, hyperreality, simulation and simulacra, fragmentation. Then we have got diversity, negation of meta-narratives, blending of high and low culture, the technoculture, open-endedness, semiotics and signification, then maximalism, minimalism, magical realism, and playfulness. These are some important concepts or some important terms that have been repeatedly used in postmodern criticism. This term requires a lot of concentration, means that a separate video can be made for each term, means that on metafiction, on intertextuality. But here I am naming this for the sake of understanding the postmodernism in general. Now towards the end of this video module, I am going to name some key important postmodernist writers that wrote the postmodernism. In the lines of poetry, we have got Allen Ginsberg and has a poetry collection, Howl, America, Supermarket in California. Then we have got John Ashbery as poetic collection, Ducky Duck in Hollywood, the Scatters, The Burden of the Pop. Then we have got Drum in the form of playwrights. We have got Marsha Norman and her plays Night, Mother, Edward Elpis as famous play, Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Then we have got Manet David as play Lingry Glen Rose, and the fiction we have got William Burroughs, Naked Lunch, Thomas Pynchon, the Lot 49. Then we have got Morrison's famous novel Jazz. Then in this list we have got Kathy's Empire of the Senseless. John Ball's short novella is also included in postmodern fiction. We have got William Goss and the Heart of the Country. So these are some postmodernist works that embodies postmodernism. So I hope that you have got a clear picture of what is postmodernism, how it emerged, and what are its chief characteristics. Some key names in this postmodern literary criticism, and key terms that has been used in postmodern literary criticism, and some key and important works of postmodern literary criticism. So do subscribe my channel if you like, and follow my channel for more videos on literary theory and criticism. Have a good day. Goodbye.